Uh, Good afternoon. Tesoro Gold's ASX listed company, the ticker's TSO. We're developing the Zorro Gold Project, which is located in Region 3 of Chile, so it's in the Atacama Desert, driest place on earth. There's a photo of the area that we're drilling, and it's the outcropping 1.3 million ounce Tenera gold deposit. So the project itself is located about 800 kilometres north of the capital, Santiago. It's right on the coast, so we're not in the high Andes. We've got access to power, water and a workforce, and we currently hold 570 square kilometres of tenure over that project area, and it is what is now being defined as Chile's first ever intrusive related gold system. To date, we've defined the 1.3 million ounce Tenera gold deposit at Zorro. That deposit is open in all directions. We're currently working at expanding that, and we see significant growth in that with further exploration. And we also have unlimited district scale potential with multiple repeats of Tenera lookalikes along the current concession holdings that we have. So a quick corporate overview. The company's current market capitalisation of around 50 million Australian dollars. We have just over 6 million Australian dollars in our treasury, which keeps us funded for the current work programs. But probably most notably, Goldfields Limited are a 17.5% shareholder in the company. So Goldfields have participated in the last 3 financings of the company. They have been looking for a while at investing in us before they finally came on board, but I think Goldfields like the project for the reasons that we like it. It has an already defined deposit which has got significant potential to continue to grow, but it's really that district scale play as well for multiple repeats along that trend. We've got around a 35% holding with institutions, and management hold around 7% of the company. So this map shows where we are located. Our concession holding is in red. The Tenera deposit that is defined is about where that blue dot is, and that's only 13 kilometres inland from the coast. So this is low altitude, we're only about 600 metres above sea level. 13 kilometres from the coast, 13 kilometres from the Pan American Highway, and you'll see just to the south along the coast there is a desalination plant and power access that is owned by that company, CAP, on that slide. We've signed an MOU with CAP to access their desal plant. They're working with us to look at building a pipeline to the project, and they're also in discussions with CAP to access the HV power line they have. So this project is superbly located for development with access to water, which is always a challenge in Chile, and power. A little further to the south of us is Caldera. Caldera is an operating port, commercial fishing fleet, naval base and commercial shipping go in and out of that port. Our team actually stay there when they're working on site, so it's about a 50-minute drive on the paved road all the way to site, so very easy to get to. Our guys finish work each day and they can be sitting in a restaurant on the beach, eating seafood and relaxing each day, so very easy place to work. So Tenera, unlocking a new gold district. We believe Tenera is the first of many. So Tenera and Zorro is Chile's first ever intrusive related gold system that's been defined. So these are the oldest rocks containing economic mineralisation in Chile. They're previously undiscovered, and a key point with intrusive related gold systems is that the deposits tend to cluster. So rather than, if you have a look at the analogue to this system is the Tintina province in North America. When you see gold deposits and how they're located through the Tintina province, they occur in clusters. It's very rare to have a single deposit, and we're starting to see that pattern emerge out of the exploration work we've done at Zorro. So we have Tenera down there in the south, 1.3 million ounces and growing, and a number of targets along a 20-kilometre belt that is very well defined by the occurrence of a specific suite of intrusive rocks and gold anomalism. At Tenera itself, we've drilled over 110 kilometres of diamond drilling into the deposit to define the current resource, and that resource is constrained by a US $1,800 an ounce pit shell, which is shown in blue on that slide. This is a section 3 of the deposit. The yellow areas are the block model of the current resource of blocks greater than 1 gram per tonne. And so a scale bar down the bottom there for scale, so you can see how big this deposit is. It is mineralised from surface. We've drilled it to over 550 metres of depth, and we're showing one of our best drill holes that we've drilled to date on this, showing how continuous the mineralisation is through the deposit. So that hole returned 434.6 metres at 1.22 grams per tonne, with a number of higher grade zones within it, including 84 metres at 3.3 grams per tonne. So this is a well mineralised system. It's got significant high grade zones within it which are highly continuous, and it's open in all directions. You also see on that slide a couple of drill holes to the left-hand side of that diagram, which is to the south. Those holes are 300 metres outside of the existing resource. They're shallow, and they have recently been drilled, and we're drilling there right now to get that area into resource in the next resource update. The highest grades we've ever returned were also announced only 2 weeks ago. We returned a single sample out of one hole of half a metre at 924 grams per tonne. So this really is a phenomenal system. It's got a lot of gold in it, and it's open in all directions, so we've got a very clear pathway to continue to grow this deposit to well beyond 2 million ounces quite quickly. We've got 2 drill rigs on site working at doing that. This slide here is the same view as the last slide, but those little red dots there are the assays in drilling over 1 gram per tonne. That existing 1.3 million ounces is only reported into that pit shell shown in the blue line there. So you can see the amount of drilling intercepts outside of the pit shell that have returned greater than 1 gram per tonne, making the deposit open in all directions. We've also recently made a new discovery to the east of the main deposit called Tenera East. We believe this is an uplifted fault block of the main deposit, and it has brought the mineralisation back close to the surface to the eastern part of the project. Some significant results there, including 15.4 metres at 1.2 grams per tonne. It's all quite shallow, that area. We've only recently just drilled into this, so we're also drilling this area in the current round of drilling to bring this into resource as well, but just highlighting the fact that there is so much low-hanging fruit to continue to grow this deposit. This map is a plan view of the geology around Tenera. So the pale pink colours there is the main host lithology. It's the suite of intrusive rocks that's associated with the gold mineralisation. The red lines are a fault system which has helped concentrate the gold-bearing fluids interacting with those rocks. But you can see some fairly significant results there at Tenera East, which were on the previous slide. To the south, the deposit is open. To the north, we just announced that hole there, which is 46 metres at 11.86 grams per tonne, which included 22.5 metres at 23.6 grams per tonne. That's in a new gold zone to the north. That's shallow mineralisation, new high-grade zone that we found that opens the whole northern sector of that area up, and so we're drilling there in this current round of drilling as well. We have published an exploration target on the project at Tenera. This is just based off the area that we've drilled to date, and we think that there is an exploration target of between 1.6 and 3 million ounces. Now, with recent drilling and recent results, we're very optimistic that we will get this deposit to beyond 2 million ounces with the next resource update. And on that diagram there, you can see the steady progression of increase in resource over time with more drilling. So this deposit has behaved quite unusually with more drilling. We've created ounces with higher drill density rather than removing them. And the more we've drilled it, the more ounces we've been able to report in each resource update. So we're very optimistic that there's plenty of growth left in Tenera with additional drilling. On the existing resource, we have conducted an initial scoping study as a phase 1 starter pit. Now this is in no way going to be what the final mine looks like, but we've done this for a couple of reasons. One is to demonstrate the potential for a low-cost open pit mining operation at El Zorro. So given its location, we have cheap power, we have water, we have superb metallurgy, and we're able to the outcome of that study was that we were able to produce gold at an estimated $1,068 all-in sustaining cost per ounce. Modest upfront capital of around 132 million US for a 2.4 million tonne throughput plant. This scoping study was only based on the top 200 metres of the deposit, only mines 650,000 ounces of the existing resource. And you'll see that the run rate on that's around 93,000 ounces per year. So this current round of work that we're doing to expand the resource, we're targeting to get at least 125 to 130 ounces a year into a production schedule, which gives us somewhere around 1 to 1.2 million ounces in our overall mine life, initial mine life of 8 to 10 years. And that would provide the impetus for us then to move this project through into feasibility. That's the base case for us, and then we have all the exploration upside, of course. So we've identified this 20-kilometre gold trend. It's a very well-constrained gold trend. It's constrained by the geology. Our geologists are able to get on the ground and map and sample the rocks directly. We're in an envious position of being the driest place on Earth, and nearly all the rocks stick out of the ground, so our geologists can map and sample outcrop. And each of those circles on that map represents a well-defined and advanced gold target, and we're working on a number of these right now with a view to start drilling them early in the new year. But we're very sure that Tenera is the first of potentially multiple gold deposits through this belt. So for ongoing growth and continuing to de-risk this project, Tesoro was always set up to focus on the coastal belt in Chile, where for a gold project with modest size that a junior company can take through from discovery through to development and production, and we're well on the pathway to doing that. The current programs in place are a drilling program to infill and expand Tenera. As I said, we have a very clear runway on taking this to beyond 2 million ounces. We expect to be able to have a resource update sometime early in the new year, and that updated resource would then feed into a new production schedule and an updated scoping study, which we anticipate will obviously provide some much improved metrics post that MRE update. And while all that's going on, we're still working on our district targeting and hope to be drilling on some of those district targets early in the new year also. We're seeing more and more of positive things come out of those targets, and a few of those look a lot like Tenera, and we're very optimistic that this belt's got multiple multi-million ounce potential in it. And also the other key bit of work that we're doing is commencing our environmental baseline studies and commencing the permitting process for the project. And we intend to run that in parallel with the feasibility study, which would kick off next year, given a positive scoping study outcome. So thank you for your time and listening to the Tesoro Gold story.
Fantastic. Zeff, thank you so much.
Cheers, thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for presenting.